Betty, this is Marilyn. We have any audio, maybe? Yes, thank you. Okay, this is Welcome to My World at 2:30 in the afternoon on the 12th of November. My view from my world. Well, we've had kind of an interesting day today. Had some. I found TF a little difficult to trade this morning, but crude oil more than made up for it. So that made me happy. If we have any gold traders in here, boy, you must have had a really nice day with that thing, because it went way down and then way up and then way down and then started trend back up again. So there was a lot of volatility in gold. All of the indices, I think it was last week, the NQ was definitely the leader of that band. And today it has been, the YM and ES have been a little stronger. And their movement and NQ looks to me, I don't trade that, but it looks to me like it might have been a little choppy also. So anyway, the Canadian dollar seems to have recovered its little fit it through this morning. It was very unhappy this morning. And bonds went up, and then they're starting to sell off a little bit right now. I don't know if you can hear all the noise. It's the thunder. But these trades this morning, I didn't really take the time, but if you understand the Apex system and you are taking these off of these E's, one of the reasons that the classic Apex entry is 3 ticks below the E is to make sure you've got a confirmed E for an entry. And if you recall, the first stop goes in 5 ticks above the P. So you just have to be willing at a deviation level to sit through this kind of stuff right here. And I know that can be a little trying on one's patience. I think I did point out to you this morning, but this sharpshooter, the value of this thing for a chop indicator as well as trade entries and trends is really excellent. I wanted to let everybody know that Larry says he's buying drinks for everybody today because he's so excited. The VIX is up over 17, and he's just jumping up and down. He can hardly wait. So I'm not sure where we go to collect on all that, but anyway, I noticed we had some bartenders in here earlier. Looked kind of good to me, actually. The Brent crude broke a significant level of around 46 and fiddled around, and then it went on down from there. So it's been playing down here around 45. The general outlook on crude oil is, of course, bearish. Right now, they've got very, very high. Whoa! Lots of thunder, and the rain has started. Anyway, there's a lot of supply, and Larry sent me some really good information that would lead you to believe that not only is Cushing jam-packed with crude oil supply, but it's sitting out there off the port of Galveston in a significant lineup waiting to bring their product in. Let's see. Other than that, tomorrow morning, for those of you who are a little superstitious, don't forget tomorrow's Friday the 13th. But tomorrow morning we have quite a bit of U.S. economic news at 8:30, retail sales and core PPI. And those numbers typically will move the market. There's some European news earlier also that will affect the euro and the pound sterling. So if you are up in those early morning hours, I have also started to watch the DAX today because I've been noticing that just a very simple chart with the 12-tick diagnostic and the Apex system put on it, I think there might be some possibilities. The thing about trading the DAX is it's 1250 euros per tick, and it ticks in halves. So 1 point is going to be 50 euros. And that's great, provided the trade's going in your direction. That thing can sure, if you don't get really good entries on that and have your take profit with at some amount of ticks, so you don't get real greedy with it, but you make the trade worth your while. That can be a very, very good thing to trade. The cash close on that is 10:30 Eastern. No, 11:30 Eastern, I think. I have to double check that. But anyway, in the afternoon, it's not so much. In the morning, however, you just need to be aware that because of the size of the value of those ticks, that thing can also be it cannot treat you well, if you know what I mean. So let's see, we got a question here. Okay, Ezra, yes, I'd be happy to. If anybody doesn't want to listen to this and thunder, just hit the mute over here. It doesn't bother me at all. But Ezra's asking me if I would go over some of these trade entries on crude oil this morning. So I will do so. Let me make this chart a little bit bigger. I don't know if this helps you see this at all, but let's go back earlier. I know I try really hard to make everybody aware of when this inventory report comes out, and today was a classic example of just why that might be. But earlier this morning, depending on what time you have your system all fired up, this right here a little after 7, there were 2 or 3 good spots to enter right here. If you missed coming off a settlement, before we had a lot of stuff, I would take a trade like this, 2 ticks below settlement, down to half deviation or wherever the next big street was. So that was a nice one from settlement. It was about, say, 42.95 down here to 42.35. That's what is that, 60 ticks? That's a very nice trade. And if you wanted to, you could continue that right down to the next deviation level. Once it's come through 2 of these and it's coming off a settlement, I'm inclined to take profit here because I don't like sitting through this stuff. But if you do, if it doesn't bother you, that's fine. What you notice here is that this deviation mountain is building, building, building. And as long as this thing is going up and you catch it right here, this will continue to go on down. This is why I say to watch this deviation mountain, because right here is where that corresponds to this stuff right here, and I just flat don't like it. That's all. So I'm out. And either one of those would have been a very nice trade. Then you can wait for it to put up another E, which it did right here, and take it right here from this deviation down to the next deviation. That's another, what is that, about, if you got filled at around 42.10 down to about 41.80, that's a 30 tick trade. It does not take a big movement in crude oil to make your trade quite profitable. The value of getting in on these entries, it's the entry, it's the entry. If you don't learn another thing, find those entries. Because once you're real confident in where those entries are, then you can take the same trade, just the same plain Jane trade, and all you have to do is increase as your account management capability, because your account gets bigger. You can start adding on contracts, and you can, instead of taking 1 or 2 contracts, then you've got the confidence to take 3 or 4, knowing that you can handle it. Then you can wait for a little bit right here, but there's a couple places to get in here. If you're real confident that this is the reversal, the top of this bar right here is a good one, and you can coordinate that with signals off of these other charts also. Going right through this, because right in here, as long as this mountain is going down, this thing is going up. It just depends on where you feel comfortable getting in. The 6 tick right here, or that 210 tick, this bar right here, look right down here. How do you know these are going to keep going up too? It's because these are tall green bars right here. So that was another one. Then this failed right here. This is a invalid or failed E, or whatever you want to call it, at 10 o'clock, but you can still, from deviation to deviation, what is that? That's a 20, about, get filled at 42.35 to 42, say 10. That's a 25 tick trade. These are just really easy ones, deviation to deviation. And here's another one. You can take this from the top of this P right here and take it to any place up here. There's a magnet right here. This is the low of the prior day right here. Once it comes through here, then I would be tightening those stops pretty darn close. But as you get up here to 11 o'clock, this is the time to push your chair back, put your mouse in the drawer, and do not do anything. Because if you weren't sitting in front of your computer and didn't see this, that announcement hit at 11 o'clock, okay? And 11 o'clock all the way over to here took 1 minute. And actually, just check the times on your own chart right there, and you can see this was absolutely impossible to do anything. So if you were in a trade when that news hit, that's a scary place to be. You just don't want to do it, because that thing can move like a freight train, and you cannot move your stops. You can't close it. Nothing. It's going way too fast. I got another question in here. New to Apex. Yes, Brad, these are futures trades, but you can use the Nadex. You can use binaries. for instance, off of these apex signals, and you can use these for spreads also. The probably the best thing for a spread would be to use the sharpshooter, because those spread trades are trend trades. And but once you get the hang of this and you get the precision of these entries, then the rest of it, you can take this to any market. You can use it with any instrument, options, binary, spreads, futures, whatever you want. Then after this, it's still too early. It's 5 minutes after that announcement. And with a move like this, just leave the mouse in the drawer. Don't touch it and wait. And maybe over here someplace, maybe. But this is, in my view, when you've had those easy ones, you want to go to the easiest possible trade you can take. And don't try to get crossways with the bus driver, because the bus driver is a whole lot more powerful with his bus than you are with your 1 and 2 and however many contracts you're trading. So don't get crosswise with that bus driver. He will win every time. The bottom indicator on the chart, the tall red and green. Jeff, the tall red and green bars down here, this is a generic volume up down, and it's in Ninja. You have to scroll way down below the Apex Elite stuff, and it's down there at the bottom. I made mine a little fatter so I can see them, and I made the colors, I think, a little darker so I can see them. So the other thing is I got a look late yesterday afternoon and early this morning at some of Santa's workshop, what they're working on, and I don't get very excited about some of the stuff. You know, I like the old-fashioned Apex stuff. That's what I learned on, and I'm real comfortable with it. And so anyway, this new stuff, I'm telling you, I'm so excited. I can hardly wait till we get this. I can hardly wait, because it literally is going to give us, I mean, to me, it's like X-ray vision, not X-rated, X-ray as in radiographic. We'll be able to see some really good information. I just thought I'd clarify that, Anthony. So anyway, anybody else have a question you want me to address right now? Because this is a good time. There's not a heck of a lot happening. The indices are falling out of bed slightly, but anyway, I think that'll probably do it for the wrap up for today. And so we'll see what tomorrow brings. This has been my view of my world in Apex land, brought to you by Apex Investing. See you tomorrow morning.